everyone, and welcome back. And today we're going to be playing one of the most exciting decks to come out of the Pro Tour. Obviously, the top 8 for the most part was pretty much a snooze fest if you actually looked at it. It was just 4 red decks and 4 Is It Prowess decks, and we have a ban coming the 30th, which probably just means Monster Rage and Corey Steele are most likely out. At least that's what a lot of the pro players that I had talked to at the Ultimate Guard booth were basically saying. Is just those cards are so broken in of themselves that they'll always make mono red and Is It deck just at the top at all times because they're just so strong individually. But one player brought Insidious roots. This is typically how this deck goes. It's how Omniscience was and all those weird decks that we got. It's just Insidious roots in the Pro Tour, you know? Name a better duo. But we went 8-2. Eli here. I think it's Eli. It's going to be Ellie, and I'm going to be really upset. But basically, they went 8-2. It feels like they fell short on the maybe draft portion of it, going 8-2, and the constructed portion is pretty nice. And it was pretty much built to beat the Is It Prowess and mono red decks. So that's what we're going to end up playing today. Have a lot of cards in here, but for the most part, we know what we're kind of trying to do. But let's read the namesake card, just in case you don't know exactly what this card does. Creature tokens you control have tap. Add 1 mana of any color. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, we make a 0/1 green plant creature token, put a 1/1 counter on each plant you control. So it's basically a way to make a ton of creatures and grow the board infinitely big. Basically, they grow really, really big, very, very fast. And then that works incredibly well with Tyvar. This Tyvar's ability says you may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures have haste. So any mana dork like a Landwar Elves or a Molt Tender can be activated immediately, along with like other cards like an Adept that allows us to cast cards from our graveyard. And then it can untap or mill 3 cards and return a creature with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. So oftentimes the best kind of curve is play Molt on 1, play Roots on 2, mill that 3rd card, and then hopefully if we have 3 mana, play a Tyvar and then exile a card, make a plant, and then Tyvar just brings something back, and then we just start kind of going and going and going and getting a lot of advantage. Or the server's going to crash while I'm doing my intro. So with that said, I already recorded the games, thankfully, and we're just going to hop in, I guess. What just happened? But realistically, that's all the deck has to kind of offer and what we're talking about. We do have some Cauldron shenanigans and things like that, but I'm incredibly exhausted. Just got back from Vegas, and I'm just going to call it there. I don't want to redo the intro because I don't know when the servers will come back up. But that's really funny. Awesome time for that to crash. But yeah, let's go ahead and game. All right, we get to go first. We will keep. Haven't played Magic a ton. Obviously, I've been in Vegas, partying out of my gourd. Not really. I've just been experiencing the sights, if you would. Let's play Town Greeter here. This will mill over. Maybe find a land for us. It does. So we get to grab us some land, and then we can go for Haywire Might. Then we can get rid of the cash grab, because a Overlord can pick up a Tyvar from later. Tyvar is probably pretty good. So in the Cauldron, but I think I let Cauldron go for now. Tyvar just seems like the right choice. We're against mono red. What would that mean? I don't know. I really don't. We're going to play lands. We're going to play this out. We can down tick. Bring back, I guess, whatever we end up blocking here. Especially the Town Greeter. They don't even attack me. Okay. Weirdly enough, this is going to hit me, which is quite funny to think about. So let's play Tyvar here. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and barrel this. Put back a Haywire Might. Play this. And then we'll exile, I guess, a Cauldron. And I could play this Haywire Might, but I'm just going to pass here. And I'm just going to hold up the wall. I want to protect Tyvar the best I can. Force him to maybe use like a burn spell. But yeah, we're back from Vegas. And my lord, was the Pro Tour not like the most boring thing in the world when I heard what the top 8 was. We were actually we brought an iPad and everything because we didn't even know. Because we worked the Ultimate Guard booth on was in the top 8, and obviously I don't blame any of the players. Play the best decks, and if Wizards isn't going to ban the cards preemptively or early, like, I don't know, just play the card, right? And the top 8 was just 4 mono red and 4 Izzet Prowess, and it was just like, the commentators had to do everything they could to save that. It was absurd. We have a pretty cool play here if they tried to Monstrous Rages. We'll get to see here. So if they cast Monstrous Rage, we can activate Molt Tender to make a green mana. Or not. Sure. Basically, if they would have Monstrous Rage the Challenger, what we would have done is we would have Molt Tender made it green and then sacked the Haywire Might to exile the token that was attached to it. Okay, opponent, I'm gonna game a bit, I think. I'm gonna attempt to game a bit. Go here. Here. Let's do the Haywire Might. No, let's do the Overlord. Let's make a little token, and then I can activate here. Then I can play this Haywire Might from our graveyard. Yeah. I'll just do all 3 of these. Another Roots token gets made. Then we can just go ahead and play another Haywire Might, go empty-handed up. Plus, uncrew here, and then just say go.
Ready for round 2.
And then now our blocks can be pretty effective because of the fact that if they can't answer our Adept here, we're able to block with like these and then just cast them all next turn. And then we'll make a crazy amount of Roots tokens. It basically all depends on Tyvar Living, of course. They go all out attack here, so they know. They know what's up. They can't save them all. At least that's the idea, right? So let us go to pass. Let us go to... We won't gain life off this one dying. So we go for here. Here. Almost just wanted to make sure I kill this thing. We do something like that. That's probably too much. Let's go there. They'll get value off this anyway. Let's do this maybe. That's fine. Probably. That's fine. That gives me 2 mana. Considering my Molt Tender can't be activated for mana. Monstrous Raging there. Sure. Take 1 for that. This rage resolves. So we have to do it an interesting way. We have to do it with the plant first because we need this Haywire Might in our graveyard to make the mana off the Molt Tender, so we can actually Haywire Might again. If we would have used this Haywire Might that has a finality counter on it, it would have just been exiled, and the Molt Tender wouldn't have been able to make the mana. So as you can see, no damage will come to Tyvar here. We put cards in our graveyard. Now we have some stuff to cast if we want. Essentially. Oh, they answered anyway. Sure. That is probably fine. Fine. I can't really do anything about it. Take some damage. It's okay. Did I make another token instead? That's 3 cards. Yeah, let's make another token here. It doesn't really matter which one. Let's do Town Greeter, I suppose. Because now it's going to make my plants a little bit larger, right? So, give us... Oh, Dredger's Insight's huge. Let's play it. If there was a rip to have, that's probably it. And now this can even just be activated. We don't even really need the Tyvar, particularly. I can grab back a permanent, which can grab back a Tyvar if we'd like. I guess so. And we have a ton of mana to operate off of here. Especially, can I get a Tyvar down? Yes, I can. So we go here, we grab a Tyvar out. And now we just go for, make it... No! That's so annoying. I accidentally clicked. And now obviously I can't take that back. There's just no way. Let's go for exile card in our graveyard because I'm an idiot. Let's go for exile this. Treasures Insight, make life, grow our token here. Let's activate this ability. And then let us just play... Only Death Touch Reach, but let us just play another Haywire Might here. And then we can exile... Well, this. Now we'll make 2 tokens. Yeah. I messed up. If I'd have played a Tyvar, it wouldn't have mattered. Our one creature would have got so large we would have just won the game. But, you know, kind of rusty from not playing for like a week and a half. So, you know, we are probably keeping this hand. Suppose. Sure. Get it out there. Alright, we'll see you later, Molt Tender. It's fun. We'll see you in the next game. Or maybe later. You never know. We have to find out what Mono Black or Golgari. Okay. This is the only card that can destroy a creature. And technically, it'll enter tapped. My land will so far. So I can't really do anything next turn. It'll be weird. It'll be a weird one. Blooming Marsh is probably best stop deck. Landwar Elf's not a bad one, I guess. They took the Overlord. Maybe they didn't realize I had a chance to actually remove their creature, but... No. Yeah. What is it? The game pawn? Oh, they missed a land. Okay. Interesting. Land here. Go for Tyvar, I guess, and then -1 Tyvar. I can always float a green here if they try to remove my Landwar Elves. Yeah. I mean, I guess they could play like an answer to Tyvar, but okay. Remove here. I guess 1/8. Oh, just one of the lands. Go. Pop that. Shuffled in. They missed a land. Is Tyvar getting answered here? If they had an answer, they should have done it immediately. Is there a slasher coming? Nice 2. All creatures are exiled. We're playing that card. I mean, fair enough, I guess. Not gonna stop them, that's for sure. I'm never stopping that card from being played. Probably should have made sure our green-black land's available. Or we just full miss, almost. Thankfully, we found another Tyvar, I guess. One. Our Lord starts ticking. We're playing this. Alright, that's a pretty tough card to beat, that's for sure. There's Dredgers here. Vigilance 3 Death Touch does not actually answer our creature at all. Haywire Might doesn't really do anything. Ooze is interesting. Oh man. Is it supposed to be the Overlord here? It's just this guy for now? I don't know. And obviously, Haywire Might can't do anything. It's just untap 1 creature, right? Maybe I just minus here. Regardless. I think I'm just gonna minus here regardless. The Molt Tender. Yeah, I just grabbed the Ooze though. Well, it's a little weird, I guess, with a Glisten play, right? Wire Might's probably just gonna be the creature that takes a big old punch in the noodle by this Glissa. The first strike's obviously so good. Wire Might doesn't seem like a necessity right now. Stoppable Slasher, sure. There's a Roots. So now we can set up a bit. A card of choice for sure. Pay 2. Let's get rid of a Haywire Might. Could have got rid of an Overlord, but there's 2 Mites in there, so this Cauldron doesn't really matter that much. Then we can just kind of pass here and use it as a combat trick. This has vigilance. Now we just hold it here, I think. 2 turns. It's coming up. We'll just sacrifice one of the little tokens here to Glissa. Do this, I guess. Huh? We'll exile that. Now the thing is, we do have a Tyvar up and online, so I guess my Molt Thinner will become not an Unstoppable Slasher, because that's just not how that works. It gets no abilities. Unstoppable Slasher number 2, our opponent's missing lands. That is not good, obviously. So we go right into Tyvar here. E minus. Another Molt. So we grab a... Actually, we do not grab a Molt out. We grab a Dragon Sniper. Graduates will trigger. Insight will trigger. We'll Cauldron here. We'll go to our graveyard. We will grab a Molt off of it. So anything with a counter can do what Molt does. So we can do some pretty neat tricks here if you're unaware of what we can do. So we can actually do exile card, add a mana. So when we do this, we'll see. We can kind of do this thing. Make more tokens and do it again. Doesn't really matter now. Let's do Haywire Might, because we're probably going to go for Overlord here, potentially. Now we go for this. We can activate this. And then we can go for Overlord cast. We only have 2 creatures, so I'm not going to be worried too much about it, considering I can just do it here, and then we'll do an Overlord and make more tokens and kind of run around that way and just have a pretty good time, right? So with that said, I mean, we take the win. We go a little bit better about it than what we have done in the past, that's for sure, but cool. Gotta have one of those weird hands, but we'll keep. I start off with the Maverick to maybe adjust white Scavengers, so most likely actually Boros, so our Haywire Might will matter. So we can probably play our Haywire Might after. It sucks. I don't really want either of these lands, but I do. I guess I take the Forest, which I'm not like pumped about. We can just go Haywire Might and then, or play Forest, play Haywire Might, and then just have the minus available. If they tap out, we might just do this. You never know. You never know. Yeah, attack me. Ah, they have some. Okay. Pass for now. Are you committing it anyway? They are. Okay. Honestly, I didn't think they would commit it like that, but that's fine. I'd rather just them do this. Oh yeah, invest everything here. That's what I want to see. Exactly what we would want. So now we get to play Forest, and then without them getting to hold up a protection spell, we're going to pop this. And then we'll probably gamble on the fact that they don't have another Monster Rage and block this Scavenger. They'll have to Shelter by Ghost us if they want to do anything. For Hard Challenger, 1 white available. So clearly no thing kind of going on there. So we'll protect a bit. Not in a great way. I guess maybe it's just play like the Death Toucher here and then play a Maverick. I know Haywire Might's good, but I think having the Death Toucher in is also good. Ooh, another Death Toucher too. I guess I can grab them both back, and that's a way to gain life. I feel like my top keep there is maybe not the tightest play. That's definitely a lot of reps with this deck is going to require, right? Like, what do you actually keep on top? Wait. Private information. Oh, wow. It wasn't a Monster Rage? It typically always is. They can just trample, right? Yeah. So they're spreading out the love a bit. They should probably cast it now looking for that Monster Rage. Man, definitely throwing a block here. I'll throw another block here. Yeah, they have the Monster Rage or they don't. Oh, they commit elsewhere. Interesting. I just dead? I think so. It's 14. I have 3 toughness. Got 2, so that's gone. Sure. All right. Well, here, let's play a Dredge's Insight. Now, the odds of them having another Monster Trades probably not high. Grab this. Now, that won't do us anything. Do this. And then we will have to exile that Monstrous Roll token when we block here. Another land from them. Emberheart Challenger, sure. So now we have to do what we know we have to do. Here. Alright, can we find anything? Insidious Roots. It's a Magic the Gathering card, that's for sure. Yeah, I think it has to happen like this, right? Yeah. Go for Sniper, maybe? Then, if I go Cauldron, I take less here. Alright, we need a dead draw from them, essentially. Nothing else will do. Last turn. Dead draw, please. Ooh, that's not good. Our graveyard. We'll do the Adept, I guess. I was like, please let me pick. Make a token, and we'll throw it in front of the 4/4. We're either dead here or not. Like, it doesn't really matter. You rip a third Monster Trade. Card that we all hope it... Yeah. Sure. Pretty positive, most of us are, that that's the card going. Because look how different this game is on the fact that they hit 3 of them. I mean, maybe there's something drastic I did wrong, but... I genuinely think Monster Trade should have been banned technically a long time ago. It's so annoying of a card. It's just like in their top 15, they found 3 copies. Because sure they did. Of course they did. They have a lot of wins there because they can technically like pump whatever. We're only at 4. But it's just like so annoying, man. It's such an annoying card. And all copies of the top 8 decks, by the way, was 4 copies of Monster Trade. Okay. We're here. The hand, that's for sure. We need a land to kind of save us here. We'll obviously play out our might. Then we want, what, Roost and then into Insight? Oh, mono red. I'm a bigger surprise. Want to do this, I guess? No. Can't wait to lose to another copy of Monster Trade after last game. This is my favorite. A fold mouse? Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, this is obviously still going to be strong. It's just like, at least every time they give this double strike, there's not the option to pump it by 3 and give it trample as well. Right? The land is hit. Okay. I mean... Run it up.
Today we carve our deeds. It's not a victory.
Hand put in the town. You mill 4 cards. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. Gotta do molt here. Gives us 2 mana. This can probably pop off a bit here. Let's just go ahead and do Adept here. Another token, Dredge's Insight. Grab back and land, I guess. And now we just have to hope we're not dead. I mean, we're at 20. The odds of being dead is not super high, but the odds of losing Tyvar is. We have 6 mana. They send Heartfire Hero at Tyvar. We don't block at all. Okay, cool. So, I guess that player didn't find 3 copies of Monster Trade, so we get there. Nice. We get to go Landware Elves. If it lives, go right into Tyvar, which is sweet. Worst case, play Dredge's Insight. 4 cards, artifact from among the milled cards. It's an island, sleight of hand. Probably Corey Steelcutter. No surprise. Enjoy it while it lasts. Alright, Tyvar, don't miss. Need you bad.
They'll talk about this fight for never give up.
All right, well, you didn't miss. That's for sure. Yep. That's exactly what we need. We go Roots, and we have 4 mana this turn. Will they get rid of Tyvar? No, they play Drakecatcher. Drakecatcher most likely never making contact with us here. We go Roots. And then we can go Dredge's Insight. Should be able to pull a creature of some kind. We could go Cauldron here, but I want to go creature, I think. Like a token. We have an untap here as well, which is pretty nice. So I could tap for mana, untap for mana, play a Scuse. Or just go like double 1-drops here. Then what? We untap here. Just no attacks. So now they have to have Monstrous Rage, which is definitely a common trend. But if they want to get rid of Tyvar, which is kind of their most threatening card they have to deal with, they can't deal with the Roots for this turn. They're going to be in a lot of trouble. This is weird. Maybe I should have grabbed the Cauldron back. But then I don't make this Root token, nor like the, yeah. Maybe I'm trolling. I don't know. A lot they have to deal with, though. The Maverick and the Sniper will both be blocking. Roots token can, I guess, just stay. They attack here. They probably have the Monstrous Rage regardless, but... this is combat damage to a player, right? When this creature deals combat damage to a player, put that many. Okay. So, them hitting Tyvar does nothing. We'll block you. Oh, wow. Not a Monstrous Rage. Not my card that got way too many copies submitted into the Pro Tour. The Sniper's still going to answer it, though. I think this trade's actually awesome for us. But we lose our Tyvar in exchange. We answer the Drakecatcher. There's a Molt. I can go for Ooze here. I can also pump a creature. I mean, I feel like Ooze is the no-brainer here. The green. Just target the Ooze. We'll just make the Ooze large if we have to. Life. Fucking huge. I have 3 creatures in here. I have 1, 2, 3. I do. Maybe I just go for the Molt Tender, though. I want to mill a card next turn, probably. No, we pass. We're basically setting ourselves up for the 1-shot as well. Use the Monstrous Rage. They can obviously use a bounce spell, but you got to remember, every time I exile something now with the Scuse, and I have 2 mana to do so, I'm going to make 2 more plants, and the toughness is going to be much larger as well. That resolves. It could, I guess, Flood Maul my Roots, but I have to target the card first. I don't get to just do it. Storm Chaser's talent, sure. I feel like this root stack was really catered to kind of bully the Is It Prowess list, but I don't really know. Doesn't matter the damage they do, so let's activate here, go to our graveyard, get rid of the Sniper. Yeah. We're not really going to get rid of our Scavenging Ooze, I don't think. I'm going to throw like a 3/4 in front of it, I suppose. Maybe all the tokens in front of it. I guess I'll have 3 tokens that I can throw in front of the Hatcher. Will be enough if they Monstrous Rage it? I have no idea. What? It's just maybe Monstrous Rage. So I have enough if they bounce a creature. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6 power if they bounce. Yeah. Yeah. They Monstrous Rage, they only really get to answer the Scuse. Right? I mean, a Scuse plus a 1/2. Yeah, so. Right. So. We get all that kind of answered for us. So that's pretty sweet. And then now I get to be just a majorly aggressive one. Do I have lethal? I don't know. Here. You're blocking. You just do this now. And let's exile Ooze. Gain even more life here. Now we just get to hit them for a ton. Down 8. Solve the problem. If there's a deck that could, Prowess is probably the one. Most resilient deck in the game. But it's just not prepared for this, yeah. And they end up falling short. Nice. Well, we'll see how it goes from there. But with all that said, let's go ahead and hop in the outro, talk about the deck a bit. I'm pretty exhausted from my flight and all that, so I just really want to take a break. All right, so here we are. We are playing Roots once again, and Roots does what Roots does, and it just randomly appears in Pro Tours, and it's really funny because it's such a weird deck, and it's such a hard deck to honestly pilot. Even if you are winning with it, it's like you kind of always feel like there's a better line or a more optimal line than you probably took. And that's what makes a deck like this super exciting, because you do have to accept the fact that you're going to be playing random 2-ofs of cards. I've never seen a cash grab, but we saw plenty of these and plenty of town graders. Like, look how many 2-ofs, and like there's one Cauldron, there's one of these, there's two of these, you know. Like, this is what a deck like this is going to typically look like. And honestly, me personally, I don't like when my decks are like this, where it's a lot of 1-ofs, because I feel like it's just like the consistency is always weird. Even these are all 2-ofs, if you want to think about it that way. It always just makes it feel a little bit weird when you're trying to play this deck and be super consistent about it. But this is obviously just solid in general, and it felt really good. And obviously an 8-2 record, maybe fell short in the drafts. That's the thing about the Pro Tour, is like it doesn't really matter what your constructed rank is, even if you are prepped for the meta, if you can't win the drafts. And I think unfortunately that's where we fell short, or maybe we lost our winning in and did okay in the draft. We just didn't quite make it. But overall, this deck is pretty awesome. I think this is a way to play Roots pretty competitively in comparison to what we've done before, with kind of like trying to do the combo stuff along with it. It's like, you know what, maybe we just have like a really good, strong, valuable hand, kind of how we have today. And a lot of hands I opened up with, I went, oh yeah, we can actually play the game without a Roots. And as soon as we draw Roots, we start popping off. And that's pretty much what ended up happening. But with all that said, I'm going to call it there, as it's going to be a bit of a shorter one. I just got back from Vegas, and I worked the whole weekend. If I played, maybe I'd be a little bit more energetic, you know, not necessarily having to be there, but waking up way earlier than normal for me, and then working like 9 to 11 hours in terms of just standing on my feet at the con and selling stuff to people, which was pretty awesome. Had a really good time. Selling at the All's Midgard booth is super fun, and it's always exciting to do. Met a lot of people, and it was just a great time in general. So with all that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.